Candlelight, candle bright, you are such a lovely sight. Once upon a time, there were two kings' sons who wanted to seek adventure. They set out on their way, but soon they fell into a wild and disorderly way of living and could not find their way back home. The youngest brother, whose name was Simpleton, set out to seek his two brothers. When at last he found them, they mocked him for thinking that he with his simplicity could find his way in the world, when they too could not find their way, and yet were much more clever. Nevertheless, the three set out together. Soon they came to an ant-hill where the ants were busily running about. The two elder brothers wanted to stir up the ant-hill to see the ants scurrying about in their fright and carrying off their eggs. But Simpleton would not allow it and said, "Please leave the little creatures in peace. I will not allow you to disturb them." They traveled on together. Soon they came to a pond where ducks were swimming about on the lake. The two elder brothers wanted to catch a couple and cook them, but Simpleton would not allow it and said, "Please leave the little creatures in peace. I will not allow you to kill them." The three traveled on together. Soon they came to a tall tree where the bees had made a nest. The bees had made so much honey that it was dripping down the trunk. The two elder brothers wanted to make a fire beneath the tree so that the smoke would rise up and the bees would have to leave, and then they could collect the honey. But Simpleton would not allow it and said, "Please leave the little creatures in peace. I will not allow you to burn them." The three traveled on. At last they came to a castle where they found horses of stone in the stable. There was not a living soul in the whole castle. Finally they found a door with a little window and they peeped inside. And what did they see? But a little man was sitting there. They knocked at the door once. He did not answer. They knocked twice. Still he did not stir. They knocked 3 times. At last he got up, undid the locks, and came out. He said not a word, had conducted them to a handsomely spread table. There they ate and drank. When they had finished their meal, the little gray man showed them to a bedchamber where they slept all night long. The next morning, the little gray man beckoned to the eldest brother. He showed him a stone tablet on which were written 3 tasks. The first task was to go into the forest and search beneath the moss for the princess's pearls. Well, the eldest brother set out to search for the pearls. Search for pearls, search for pearls. I cannot find them all alone. I'll surely turn to stone. By sunset, it came to pass as the little gray man had said. Since he had not found all 1,000 pearls, he had only found 100. He was turned to stone. The next morning, the little gray man called the second eldest brother and showed him the stone tablet with the 3 tasks. The second eldest brother set out into the forest to search for pearls. Search for pearls, search for pearls. I cannot find them all alone. I'll surely turn to stone. When the sun had set, the second eldest brother found that he had only collected 200 pearls, and it came to pass as it was written, and he was turned to stone. The next morning, the little gray man called Simpleton and showed him the stone tablet with the 3 tasks. Simpleton thanked the little gray man, and he went off to search for pearls. When he realized he could not do it, he became very sad, and he sat down on a stone to weep. Just then, the king of the ants, whose life he had once saved, came with 5,000 ants in order to gather the pearls for him. By sunset, they had gathered all the 1,000 pearls, and not a single one was missing. Simpleton thanked the ants. Then he turned to the second task. The key to the princess's chamber lay deep in the lake. The key must be found in the lake deep and sound. The lake is so deep, I sit down and weep. Just then, the ducks, whose lives he had once saved, came swimming by. The mother duck dove down and brought up the key from the bottom. She gave it to Simpleton. Simpleton thanked the ducks. Then he went to the palace. The key fit in the lock. He turned it and revealed the princess's secret chamber. There he saw 3 princesses were sleeping on the bed. The third task was to choose the most lovely and the youngest princess. But the 3 bore a perfect resemblance to each other. How was he to know which one to choose? The only difference was that the eldest had eaten a little sugar before bed. The middle one had eaten a little syrup, and the youngest had eaten a little bit of honey. Just then, he thought to himself, 3 princesses, so lovely and fine, how shall I know which can be mine? They sleep so deep, I have to weep. Just then, the queen of the bees, whose life he had once saved, came flying through the window. She tasted the lips of all 3 princesses, and she lay sitting on the lips of the one who had eaten the honey. Then Simpleton knew which one was the youngest and loveliest princess. And when he had chosen her, the spell was broken. The 3 princesses opened their eyes and woke up. The whole castle, which had been turned to stone, came to life again. Even the 2 brothers woke up and came to the castle. Simpleton married the youngest princess, and the 2 brothers married the other princesses. There was singing and dancing. Lavender's blue, dilly dilly, lavender's green. When I am king, dilly dilly, you shall be queen. Who told you so, dilly dilly, who told you so? 'Twas my own heart, dilly dilly, that told me so. Snip, snap, snout, our tale is all told